You have probably seen this generator all over TikTok, and I bought this with my own money. That way I can tell you if this is something you should buy or maybe if it's something you should stay away from. It seems like on Instagram or even TikTok, this generator just seems to pop up everywhere with people not giving a full explanation if this is really any good. They give you the basic info and that's really about it. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know if you should buy this or maybe just stay away from it. Now, after I bought this, they did ship it out quickly. It took about 3 days, and as soon as you open the box, you'll notice you will have a manual. It will also come with an oil funnel along with a small toolkit for your spark plug, but it does not come with any oil, but we will go over that in a minute. Now, as soon as I got this out of the box and set it on the table, this is where something a little bit similar seemed to come up, because for some reason, I think I've seen this generator before, but more on that later. So we're gonna go over the testing and all the specs of this, get that out of the way, and then at the end of this video, I will show you some interesting information. Now, on the front of the generator, you do have a carbon monoxide overrun light along with the failure light. This would be your low oil warning light along with the overload light, and then this green light indicates that it is running and ready. You have your eco mode power switch, which you'll want to leave this off when you start it. You have a reset button for your DC circuits. You do have a USB port that has USB-A and also Type-C, a 12-volt socket, which these are bonded to the frame as it says down here, but when it comes to your AC circuits, you have a pair of 120 volt. This is a 20 amp style plug, and this is a neutral floating generator. You then have your reset button if you overload the unit, and this generator can be paralleled to other generators using a set of parallel plugs. You also have a grounding lug if you want to ground your generator, but I have never seen anybody ground a small portable generator like this. On the very front of the generator, you do have this shortcut guide, which is kind of a nice little place to have it for people who maybe are not familiar with inverter generators. You do have a vented fuel cap on the top of the generator. This also has a screen in it, which when you do fill this up, you don't want to go beyond the red indicator. On top of the generator is your analog style fuel gauge, which I do like these as they just kind of seem to work and you don't have problems with the digital ones. On the side of the generator is your off, on, and also choke position. And then you do have your pull cord, which it does have this nice chrome bezel around it. This keeps it from fraying as you pull up, but you honestly should pull out versus up. That way it doesn't rub against the generator. And on the back is where you will find your spark arrestor. This should be inspected roughly every 100 hours, and if it looks very black and dirty, it should be serviced. On the top is where you will find specs for rated engine speed, rated output, and more, and also where this generator is from, which we will talk more about this later. You have your spark plug hatch. This is just a quarter turn. My hand is a little bit bigger, and it doesn't look like I can pull this off without removing the side cover. As we take a look at the inside of the engine, you do see our carburetor, and this is a 80cc engine. This is very popular from the MZ80 model, which is basically a copy of the Yamaha model from many years ago, which is a very popular engine and still copied in a lot of models today. You do have your air filter hatch. This is where you can service this. It does have a small film of oil around the air filter, which is good, which helps collect those fine particles of dust. Now, this generator doesn't come with oil, so you will need to add some, which in the manual states that you can use a 10W30 or even a 15W40. Now, according to the manual, it's going to take about 350 cc's of oil, which you can use your own favorite brand. Any name brand is all you need. This is not the late great oil debate. Remember, these are basic outdoor engines and don't have the same tolerances as some of the engines that we find in today's vehicles. And you're going to fill this until it just hits the threads of the dipstick. This generator with oil only will weigh in just under 40 pounds. Now, when it does come to adding gasoline, all you need is 87 octane. You can use 89 or 91 depending. The only benefit you're going to get though is a longer shelf life. You won't get any performance gain from higher octane fuels. If you can pick up ethanol free fuel at a cheap price, then I suggest that. And if you're looking for an awesome gas can, I've been using this one from SureCan for a long time. It's super easy to use, and they also have a new model out, which I'll leave a link down below. Turn off our eco switch, go ahead and go to choke, and now what I normally do is we'll pull this about 3 to 5 times slowly. This is going to prime up the carburetor, get fuel down into it, which it's already trying to start. And I'm barely pulling it, so now I'm going to just pull it one more time a little faster. We'll try it one more time. And there we go. Now sometimes there is a little assembly oil in these, that's why you see that little puff of smoke. That way the cylinder and the piston isn't dry on first fire up, which honestly sometimes that can cause harder starting, especially your first initial start. Okay, so we'll turn this down to eco mode, let it idle down. Alright, so first fire up. What do you guys think? Not terribly loud, but it shouldn't be very loud for a small generator like this. Alright, we're going to start doing some testing, along with sound testing and more. I'm going to run this for about an hour, and then I'll be right back. Okay, as we take a look at the pure sine wave, you can see that the wave is nice and clean. This is at a low load of only about 600 watts. So 600 watts, about 5 amps, and our voltage actually looks really good at 123 volts. And now as we take a look at the meter at a full max of 1800 watts, you can see that the pure sine wave is still clean. And as we check the voltage even still looks great at 119 volts. We can also verify with this expensive meter and check total harmonic distortion. And at a full 1800 watts, only 1.1% for total harmonic distortion, which so far this is doing pretty well. Now, if you are curious about engine RPM, I am currently running a 100 watt load, so this will be the lowest that the generator is going to run as far as engine RPM. But as we take a look at the tach, it's showing right about 3000 RPM, give or take, as that slowly idles up and down between 3 and about 3100. We are now a little over a quarter load, which would be 450 watts, and that's where they normally do their sound testing. And if we take a look at the RPM now, about 3450, maybe 3500. Now this generator is rated for 4800 max RPM, and at the max 1800 watt load, you can see we're right about 4800 RPM. Okay, sound test time. We're going to do a 400 watt load to start, and we are going to be 23 feet away because that's how all the companies measure it. Now, if you followed me before, you'll know that I do a lot of testing right here at this little mark. This ends up being 23 feet away. Okay, 400 watt load. Okay, now we'll do a 50% load sound check. And 50% load. We are now at about 1530 watts. And what this represents is basically about an 84% load. And what this means is that if you were running your generator at loads higher than this consistently, you should step up to a larger generator, because you don't want to always run past 80% for long durations. It's meant for short durations. So 80% and below is where your generator should live. And at just over 80%, okay, now a quick comparison when it comes to just basically size. We will also do a sound check real quick on the super popular Honda EU2200i. Now, both of these are rated for 1800 watts max. Now, when it comes to size, they're pretty identical, but the Honda is just a pinch heavier by about 4 pounds. The Honda also has a larger engine at 121 cc's versus 80 cc's. So we'll do a quick sound check on this one just to give you an idea at the same loads of 25, 50, and 80%. Okay, eco mode is on, starting at a 400 watt load, which is just under 0.25%, and this is as quiet as this generator will get. 400 watt load. Okay, just over 900 watts, so 50%. 50% load. And again, about 83-84% load at about 1530 watts. 80% load. So you remember how I thought I have seen this generator before? Well, here it is. This is actually the PowerSmart 2500 watt model. And if you take a look at them, they are very identical. When you place both of these units side by side, pop off both of the engine covers, obviously they look exactly the same. The engines are the same, the carburetors are the same. The only thing that's really different is this is a year older and this is a brand new model. When looking at the engine models, you can see it says H79i. Both of these are stamped exactly the same, and the serial numbers are almost identical, and they come from the same area, which is Shenzhen, China. It seems like everything is manufactured there. If you look at a lot of the products you buy, guaranteed it probably came from somewhere around that city. But I did put these out side by side, taking a look at them. If you notice, the front plates are exactly the same, the body styles are exactly the same, and of course they run exactly the same. When it came to testing them, sound testing and more, everything was exactly the same as far as sound testing and more. So now the question is, do you buy this eFerndon model or do you go with the PowerSmart? Because if you take a look around on Amazon, there are also other models. You can get a yellow model, you can get yourself a blue one. There are several different options you can buy that is identical to this and also this. But the main thing that you're buying is really the company. If you look at the website for the eFerndon, these guys are more of a startup. I haven't seen them around at all, and all of a sudden now they have these generators that are popping up. If you look on the website here, you do have some information as far as contacting. You also have information as far as warranty as well, but they don't have a lot of products to offer, and they don't have obviously any service centers. Now, if you look at PowerSmart's website, obviously they have a lot more products. And when it comes to the generators, whether it's this 2500 watt model or the open frame, obviously those are the same as what the eFerndon is offering. But when looking on PowerSmart's website, you can see they actually have some service centers throughout the United States, and they do have also warranty and contact information as well. And check this out, if you look inside the manual of the PowerSmart generator versus the eFerndon one, eFerndon doesn't really give you any information as far as parts or anything like that, but looking in the PowerSmart manual, take a look. They have everything on an exploded view and a full parts list for this whole generator. Now, both of these models pretty much run the same price, and that can sometimes be a little over $300 or sometimes just under $300. Now, for a little bit more money, you can get this WEN 3600. This honestly is a great generator. It's a dual fuel model, meaning you can run it on propane and also gasoline. And it even has a digital display, which gives you a little bit of information, and also an hour meter, which neither one of these do. You have to put on your own hour meter, which is something I wish every generator company would just give you, is it should have an hour meter on it. That way you can at least keep track of service and more. Now again, this only runs a little bit more money than both of these, and it's also just a little bit bigger. It's a couple pounds heavier, about equal to the Honda that we saw earlier, but it is going to be just a pinch louder because it does have a bigger engine and it does provide more power. And that's something you really can't get away from unless you want to spend a lot more money, especially when it comes to a suitcase generator like these. So when it comes to all these generators, if you're looking at buying one of these two models, for me personally, I would be going with the PowerSmart just because it has a bigger company. There's more backing behind it as far as warranty, also getting parts and more. So that's my personal opinion, but I did buy both of these as well. But if you can afford a little bit more, I think this is an excellent pick for the price and the power and everything that you get. Unless you don't really need this much power and you want something super small and quiet, then there's nothing wrong with one of these either. I hope this information helped you out. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can check out other videos as well, and I hope to see you in another one.